The Journey of David, a story of English learning and determination. David had always been a dreamer. Growing up in a small town in Italy, he had big aspirations. He wanted to travel the world, meet new people, and experience different cultures. But there was one thing standing in his way: English, a dream that seemed impossible. Ever since he was a teenager, David had been fascinated by the idea of visiting the United States. He watched Hollywood movies, listened to American music, and even tried to read English books. But every time he attempted to speak or write in English, he felt defeated. The words didn't come out right, and his thick Italian accent made it even harder. At school, English was just another subject for most students, but for David, it felt like a mountain he could never climb. His teacher often corrected his mistakes, and his classmates laughed when he mispronounced words. Over time, he started believing that maybe he just wasn't meant to learn English. A wake-up call one day, something changed. David was working part-time at a small cafe when a group of tourists from England walked in. They tried to order coffee, but no one in the cafe could understand them. David nervously stepped forward and tried to help. His words were broken, his grammar was incorrect, but somehow the tourists understood him. They smiled and appreciated his effort. One of them, an elderly man named Mr. Thompson, patted David on the shoulder and said, "You did great. Just keep practicing." That moment stuck with David. It wasn't about speaking perfectly. It was about communication. He realized that his fear of making mistakes was holding him back. The road to fluency. From that day on, David made a promise to himself. He would learn English no matter how hard it was. 1. Immersion through movies and music. Instead of just watching English movies with subtitles in Italian, he started watching them with English subtitles. He listened to English songs and tried to understand the lyrics. 2. Speaking without fear. Every time he met a tourist, he forced himself to start a conversation, even if it was just a simple greeting. He joined online language exchange programs where he could chat with native speakers. 3. Reading and writing daily. He started reading simple English books and keeping a journal where he wrote a few sentences in English every day. 4. Learning from mistakes. Instead of feeling embarrassed when he made mistakes, he started learning from them. He realized that every mistake was a step closer to improvement. Overcoming challenges. There were times when David wanted to give up. Some days, English felt too complicated. He struggled with phrasal verbs, pronunciation, and the endless list of exceptions to grammar rules. But then he remembered why he started. He reminded himself of his dream to travel, to connect with people beyond his hometown. He refused to quit. The reward of hard work. After 2 years of dedicated effort, something incredible happened. David got a job opportunity in London. It was a dream come true. He packed his bags, nervous but excited, and moved to the city he had always dreamed of. At first, speaking English every day was overwhelming, but he quickly adapted. He made friends from different countries, explored the city, and embraced the new culture. One evening, while sitting in a cafe in London, he overheard a young Italian tourist struggling to order in English. David smiled, walked over, and helped him, just as Mr. Thompson had once helped him. "Don't worry," he told the young man. "You're doing great. Just keep practicing." And at that moment, David realized something powerful. He had become the person he once needed. Moral of the story: Learning English or any new skill can feel impossible at first, but with persistence, courage, and a willingness to make mistakes, anyone can succeed. The key is to never give up.